today's video, I'm literally just rambling. So if you have some time, pull up a chair, put me in the background while you do your chores, and just hear me out. Hear me out. So today is day 2 of walking a mile a day, and I'm gonna have to do another workout because yesterday I didn't, so I want to kind of try to keep that up. Excuse me. I'm trying to commit to walking a mile at least 5 times a week and doing a strength training type of exercise later in the day. I have not yet committed to like an eating plan or even cutting anything out, because really I keep trying to make these lists of, okay, this week I'm gonna start, and it'll be a list of things I'm gonna start. Like, I'm gonna walk, I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna eat that, I'm gonna go to bed early, I'm gonna wake up early. It's just a lot of things. And for the past 3 years, I've had the opportunity to succeed at all these things, yet I haven't. And then I'm just feeling like, you know what? Why am I trying to do everything at once? I keep trying to do that, and I keep failing. And so I didn't commit to anything. Like, I didn't even technically commit to this, but you know, I've decided that I have to do something. If I want this to work, if I want to lose weight this year, then I'm gonna have to stick with something. And so if I'm gonna stick with anything right now, it's moving my body. And the reason I'm choosing that is because when I get up, my body hurts. Okay? I feel like a 50, 60-year-old woman, and I'm pretty sure my body's age is trying to adjust to that feeling, and I don't want it to. So I would much rather, you know, I'm going to work on cutting some things, but right now my focus is building the habit of movement. So I know I've shared in my previous video, is that a bird on that chair? Oh, that's neat. I don't know, but for some reason I find that so fascinating. It's just sitting there. I don't know. I'm fascinated because why? What's it looking for? What's it doing? There's no shade. There's no food out here. What is it doing? Anyways, in my last video, I shared that I want to own land. And like, this is my aesthetic. Like, I just like being in places that inspire me to put my house on it. So this is where I walked yesterday. I walked around this, I think twice, all the way around the entire thing. So it's not quite a mile to walk the perimeter, which is crazy to me because it seems like a huge area. But I've walked the whole perimeter, and it only takes me to about 0.7 miles. So then I tend to do this side again, and then it gives me my mile. And that's what I did yesterday and today. So I'm saying this as if I've been doing this, and by the time I drop some pounds, then this will make sense. Oh, it moved. Okay. Maybe it did find something. Maybe it was waiting on something to come up. Anyway, it's a beautiful bird. Like, he spread its wings, and there's like a pattern on the inside of the wingspan. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty much out here alone, but like I can see people walking the trail, so I'm not 100% alone, which is good because I had a freaky thought, like, what if something happens to me and nobody knows I'm out here? Except in the stay and play, they do know. I said I was going to be on a walking trail, so they know I'm out here somewhere. But anyways, I ramble. So my goal right now, at least for the next month, is to just keep this up. We've had a lot of things happening. We're planning on moving, and there's just a lot of things that need to happen this year in terms of just resetting my life in general. And losing weight is one of them. Rebuilding my finances is another, because now I want to sell my house and move on and start a nest egg for my next vision. Like, I want to own property that, like, not necessarily, I know people are like, all into investments and things like that. I'm gonna get an investment property and do this and that. I'm just trying to buy a house that I can call my forever home on a plot of land that when I become a granny, I can look outside and see my kids doing all the wonderful things that I wanted for my kids, which I thank God over these 3 years, I have had a glimpse of my future. And I kept thinking, like, this is what I want for my kids, and it is. And to an extent, watching them from the kitchen, playing outside while I'm baking and cooking, or, going out and gardening and growing things and just spending time together, doing puzzles, like art. Like, these are the things that I see for my future, but I know in my future they won't be little kids. And so, I want to make sure that I continue this journey for them to have this different lifestyle, this peaceful lifestyle, this option, if you will, because I don't run their whole lives, but having this safe place for them to be able to always return to. And I think that vision that I keep having of, seeing the kids playing on the land and all the things, I think it's actually a vision through the eyes of an older me. And I think that the children that I see doing these things are my grandchildren. And my, land in my home will host big Thanksgivings. I kept thinking, who's going to come to these Thanksgivings? Well, my children are, and their families. And so it's starting to make sense to me, and I want to be around for that. I want to make that happen. And the only way I can do that is to start with these small habits, get this weight off me, get my health up so I can live that long. Make the money that I need to secure the property. And then be able to invest in other things so that there will be investments so that money can flow in, because I don't plan on working anybody's job unless it's something I've created for my family or myself forever. I'm not doing that. I was a teacher for 10 years, and I remember when I first started teaching, I would cry every weekend, especially Sundays. I would be extremely depressed because it was my last day of freedom. That's how I felt. And then usually I would have piles of papers to grade and lesson plans to create. And then that was when I was working in charter school. Once I got into public school, I was like, you know what, I finally, maybe around year 2 working in public school, I figured out how to just kind of pace myself, like, okay, you ain't gotta do all these lesson plans. I was departmentalized, so at that point I was only doing reading and writing lesson plans, so that was already a load off. And I started doing things differently, and I don't know why I'm even going down this road, but once I got a handle on that, teaching didn't feel so bad, but just the amount of time, it used to make me sad that I was dropping my kid off to daycare to go take care of other people's kids. I just felt tied down to the job. I wake up in the morning, say my prayers, eat my breakfast, get on the road, go to work all day, commute home, pick up my kid, and I will only have time to like kind of settle in. Let me start on dinner. At the time, I was like going to church on Wednesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays. So on those days, like I had like little quick things like pizza or things we could just heat and go. And so then that was time away from my kid, right? And that was fine though. We were good because the people in the daycare loved her at both daycares, child care at the church and at her daycare. But it just felt like I was missing her because I didn't have a choice. I was pretty much a single mom. I had to do everything. And so these 3 years have been a blessing to me. I've enjoyed being at home with my kids. There have been some downfalls, financially especially, depending on someone that may or may not be as dependable as you hoped. That's a whole nother video that I don't know will come. I don't know if it will come because I'm very private and protective when it comes to the people that I love, regardless of what we're going through. But I've had some losses, but I'm hopeful for the wins. I'm trying to discipline myself. I'm trying to restructure my thinking because I have to go back to a job for a little while. But the way that I think of it will not be the same. I'm sorry, but these jobs ain't loyal and neither am I. Okay? I'm gonna do what I can do because as an educator, the lives of the children that you service are a big part of like their lives, so it's a big deal. But I don't even want to be in the classroom, truthfully. Let me just keep it real, 100%. I don't, but I have to do some exploration, and I only have a few months to do that. And I considered not even going back into education. I was gonna go and be a bank teller. But considering my goals, I can make more money in the classroom or in the system faster, and that's the goal. Like, it's not about, I'm sorry, it ain't about kids. I need a paycheck, okay? Now, when I do clock in, I do what I'm supposed to do. Don't get me wrong. But it's not about that as much as it is about me making this money and getting back to the vision. That's it. So, I rambled enough for today. I'm going to go inside, get my little one, Katie, for homeschool. We do our homeschooling things here so that the littles are out of the way during instructional time. And then we go home. She's able to do her independent work without a problem. If she needs help, then I'm there. And I focus on them. They'll get their story time. We'll do some letter work. Jerome is at preschool, so he actually had a field trip today. So I can't wait to hear about that. But that's it. Y'all have a good one. So basically, what to gather from all of the rambling today is that I'm going to make some small changes within my habits. I'm going to start with walking the mile once, at least 5 times a week. Once a day, 5 times a week. Along with some type of strength training exercise in the evening. I want to then start working on rolling back some of the processed foods and sugars that I'm eating and move towards more lean and fibrous foods. And then I've got some financial goals to make and some resettling to do and some mental work to do. So at the end of the day, let's say at the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of work that has been done. And I haven't always been consistent, but I owe it to myself. I owe it to my children. And I just need to get my life back together. So that's what we're doing. We're doing it.